In the final full week before Iowa's primary elections, we saw two big public endorsements, or two endorsements that have the potential to be big, and they both involved Republicans running for governor. There were several different things that happened over the final week. Randy Feenstra's campaign decided to put out a negative ad against Zach Lane, another one of the Republicans running for governor. Usually that's a sign that one campaign is worried about the potential strength of another. And then on Friday afternoon, after more than a year of staying completely out of this race publicly, President Donald Trump decided to get involved, and Friday afternoon, he endorsed Feenstra.
I was so honored to have President Trump's complete and total endorsement. I mean, for him to call, we talked about 10 minutes, and he said, "You're my guy, you're going to win." And he always picks winners. He told me very clearly, he said, I think he's like 116 for 116 or something like that. But for me and him have worked together for so many years. And, we sort of talked about that. The first bill that he signed, the second time he's been president, was my bill. It was the Sarah Root bill to make sure that people that harm, an illegal that harms a citizen, that they get detained and prosecuted. And you know what? We've done so much together, and he believes in me, and that's why he endorsed me.
Obviously, it feels good to get the president to call you and support you. How does that translate? You've been traveling all over this state. A lot of people in the primary field or a lot of primary voters already know who you are. So how do you know whether support like this can push more people to you?
Well, I'll just say this. We never take anything for granted. I mean, we're going to earn every single vote. And whether it be today, tomorrow, the next day, until June 2, we're going to be out every day, going to all four corners of the state, talking about our vision, listening to Iowans, and listening to them and saying, how do we take Iowa to new heights? That's the whole goal. But it's collaborative. It's all working with we the people. We're all taxpayers. And we're together in this, and together we will take Iowa to new heights, and that's what I'm selling to everyone, and selling the great vision.
As you know, some of the activists would have preferred for the president to totally stay out of this, right? Because this essentially picks one guy over four others. What do you say to that?
Well, I'll just say this. Me and him have worked together for a long time. He understands that I have delivered. I deliver results. I get it done. I've done it working with him and creating the largest tax reduction in U.S. history. He helped with the Farm Bill, helped with E15. So he really sees that I can deliver for Iowans. And he said this, he said, he has made the United States the best state in the world, best country in the world. And he said, you got to make Iowa the best state in the country. And that's what I plan to do. When I'm governor, I'll make sure I do that. And he also understands, and we talked about this, is that we have to beat extreme liberal Rob Sand. I mean, people have to understand that if Rob Sand were ever getting the governorship, this state would look like California, Illinois, or Minnesota, and we can't allow that to happen.
How do you overcome? The president has a heck of a track record in primaries, as you know. How does this movement overcome that?
I think records are meant to be broken. So I think, hey, look, I have a lot of respect for the president. But I believe that if you understand what's going on in the grassroots here in Iowa, you see that there's a movement happening. I mean, you guys have all seen it. We've had record turnouts at our events because people are asking for this in the Republican Party and in the state of Iowa. And I believe, as I said, there are people around him that didn't tell him the full story. And so I would welcome the opportunity to tell him the full story, but we're going to run through the tape on Tuesday.
Lane has been running on an Iowa First theme similar to Trump's America First. And even after the president's endorsement of Feenstra, we still saw Trump signs at Lane's event in West Des Moines Friday night. Now, Lane received his own endorsement Friday afternoon, and he celebrated that with more than 200 supporters. Turning Point Action, the political arm of the late conservative activist Charlie Kirk, endorsed Lane's campaign.
I'll tell you this, we raised $500,000 today. It brings a lot of momentum. But it tells the people that we have the opportunity to win this race. And so that's what it means. It means that people are investing in our campaigns, and they see that. They see the statistics that are coming out, and they understand that we really can win this race. And I think a coalescing is about to happen.
Lane's pointing to the size of his crowds to say that he is the Feenstra alternative. He told his supporters, it's time to fight. So fight. What does that mean?
That's a grassroots battle, is what it is. We're in a grassroots fight right now, and we are going to be showing up everywhere we can between now and Tuesday to bring our message to the voters of Iowa. And we're ready. We've been getting repetition after repetition while my opponent has stayed away. We're ready for this.
In these final days of the campaign before the primary election, Lane is trying to frame this 5-person race really as a 2-person race. Lane versus Feenstra. He says it is time to coalesce. He didn't call out the other candidates by name, but Brad Sherman, Adam Steen, Eddie Andrews, if they are not willing to step aside and get behind Lane, Lane is saying that he wants to see Iowa's primary voters coalesce to make this a 2-person race. Of course, President Donald Trump has given some of these activists something to think about now that he has stood up publicly for Feenstra. That is Inside Iowa Politics.